Greetings, cyber dogs and fellow Minecrafters and fellow mine squatches all over the world. But especially, hey, Hawkeye. Because I'm doing this video for my pal Hawkeye, but the rest of you are welcome to join me in this behind the scenes look at Trapped. Ooh. Oh, well, I'm supposed to zoom in on my face for the spooky ooh, but instead it zoomed in on my butt, so it's kind of like the opposite, so it's like, oh. But anyway, man, I am down here in my secret location. Why is it a secret? Well, because I haven't found it yet, but I'm creating it for an upcoming portion of the place. I've just laid in some nice iron and things here. Yep. And it's so I'm building kind of this obscure little cave down at the bottom of an obscure little cave, and there's a whole nother portion of this little cave system here that actually goes off over this way. Also, I have been doing some lighting it up and getting it ready for some things, but are some interesting things going to happen in there. But up I come because Mr. Hawkeye, today, behind the scenes, we are going to talk about custom NPC mod, and we're going to learn how we put an NPC in our world. I'm out back of the castle here and making my way this way. Wow, that's a lot of crickets. Hello, cow. Ooh, the ravine. But I'm coming this way because it just so happens that there's an elf tree off over here that is the center of some of the upcoming action in the series. So let's head on over here. Some enterprising soul has ended up providing me, even though they were building over here. I'm sure I gave someone permission to do this. I just can't imagine anyone having the audacity to come build a tree farm this close to Gwydir without at least talking to me about it. But wow, talk about a nice view of the Dusk Dawn Tower. There it is, but let's get to work, my friend. So, here in this lovely little clearing, which we are going to clear some more. Hello, clearing, which we are clearing some more. We're going to get this cleared. Hit plants, not the doit. You know, need the doit back. Give me doit. Thank you. Alright. So, you shall go into NEI, and if you enter the word wand, you shall come across only 2 wands. There should be one that just says magic wand, and it is a generic magic wand. And then we have the NPC wand. Grab your NPC wand. Okay. Once you've done that, go on to search for clone, and you will see an X that says mob cloner. Grab your mob cloner, and then lastly put in path, and you will see something called NPC pather. Grab yourself an NPC pather. Have yourself an NPC pather. And I think I shall be good like this. So, carefully taking your NPC wand, one picture spot. Oh, I think like say right about here. There you go. Oh, you're the one. I know I'm being picky, but it's important. And by right-clicking, now it will pop up our UI. Our baby NPC has been born, and now we have to make him special. So, if we do not do anything to make him special, And instead we just click the X here to exit. You'll see he's just Steve, and he's looking at something under the ground there. I'm not sure what. I wonder what's down there. But right click him again, make sure you have him, and right click him, and it'll bring him back up. Again, X to exit. If you don't happen to be pointing directly at him and you right click, you'll see it'll give a list of nearby NPCs, and you can select which one you want to edit. You can teleport to that NPC. You can reset an NPC or reset all of the NPCs close by. It's very, very handy. Take your NPC wand and say, "Pardon me, sir, but I must get into your head." All right, now, first thing we're going to do is change his name. Actually, Ketarath is not a bad name. And we'll name him Elf of, not Og, of the Wood. Elf of the Wood. I know it's not all that terribly interesting, but give it time. Now, we can decide whether we want Ketarath's name to show above his head or not. Okay, in this case, we're going to let it show. Now, here, model, it says edit. Click it. And here we have Ketarath in his very vanilla form. Now, we got two ways that we can approach setting up Ketarath. One is we can leave this on just custom NPC and click load settings, the bottom right hand button here. Pow. What this is going to do is take you a list of all sorts of different options. Cat female, meow. Cat male, meow. Dwarf female, dwarf male. Elf female, elf male. Ender chibi. Ugh. When you see this with a ender skeleton on it, actually, or ender skin on it, it looks really cool. Human female. There's the chest. Human male. Orc male. Orc male. Pardon me, sir. You have an orc male and orc female. And wolf female and wolf male. And so these are these are the ones you'd normally have available in an older version of custom NPC. But so for instance, just to keep it weird, we'll go wolf female. There we go. And then we'll click back. Oops. Load setting, wolf female load. Sorry about that, load. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to push on the arrow down here so we can spin around, and you'll note he has a tail. I just wanted you to see, well, she has a tail. Now, we're going to hit escape. Escape. And this is going to take us back to our normal screen. Now that we have our strange wolfy person here, we're now going to click select. Okay. Under textures, I'm sorry. Let me make sure that see its texture. Or select. And double click up. This is going to take you up one in the directory. And you'll see there are other folders, and one of them says furry male, and the other says furry female. So furry female, we are looking for wolf, black steampunk. Oh, black steampunk wolf, black hunter, and yeah, that's interesting. Black trader wolf, black wolf warrior. Ooh, I like that. It's not bad. Wolf trader. Steampunk, huh? I think the steampunk is interesting. Cool. Now we're gonna go back to edit the model, because now you can see he's a steampunk looking wolf. Well, there's things we can do with different aspects of him. For instance, we can click on his head, and you can see that he has ears, right? And we can change those ears as to what size they are. We can alter their color by clicking on the numbers here. Right now he has large snout number 1. We could change that to the bunny snout or to no snout. Player, small and medium, and here we are, large snout, which is now the wrong color. That's right. We could give him a beard. It's a Viking beard. I like it. You know. Pardon me. We could give him a mohawk. See, so we've got all these options. There's things we can do with his hair, and we can decide whether or not his head wear is solid or not. And we're going to say solid. There we go. That means it'll treat it more like a helmet. Yes, it's solid. Headwear solid. All right, there we go. Let's hit escape. Let's get back to things like so. Here we go. Legs. Now we're gonna spin him a little bit. We can change the type of legs he has. We can give him naga legs, where he's got a snake lower half. We can give him spider legs. Check that out. Ooh, that's creepy, weird. Here's horse legs. This is how I did the Zoe. I'm gonna have to think about that. The name. What the name? Zoe has given a name. I like it. It's hard for me to remember, so I'm got to think about it. But the Naga mermaid. Now here we go. Digigrade. These are the classic wolf legs, the classic animal hind legs. So we're gonna give Ketarath these, and right now the tail is set to wolf. We could set it to horse, to dragon, to squirrel. Ha ha ha. No tail at all. Player defined. Player dragon, cat, wolf. So you can see that the color of them changed because we've cycled through them. So we could kind of come down here and probably be all good with that right about there. There you go. All right, so that's how we deal with that stuff. But escape to go back again. There's also scale. So for instance, we can go to the scale of the legs and we can bring their height way up. Okay. Now he's much taller, and then we'll bring their width out just a little bit, and we'll bring their depth just a little bit. Now he looks like a bit more powerful of a character in the legs. Let's click on arms. We're going to increase their height, which is their length, of course, a bit more, so they fit his leg height a bit more, coming just below his hips. All right. Then we're going to go to body, and I think the body's pretty good. We're going to go to head, and I think we're actually going to make the width of the head a little bit narrower. There we go. Yeah, that looks a little more canine-like. And we're going to maybe make the depth just a bit less. There we go. Nice. All right, and we go back. And then the last thing to know is that with the body, of course, there's the choice about whether or not to have busts. There are three types, which is there's none. Type 1, which is just a small shelf across the chest. Type 2, which can't. It makes it angled, so there's a little bit of more of a definition. And then 3, which actually defines individual chests. You'll note that we could also give Ketarath wings. Okay. Butterfly wings. These are more dragony. No wings at all. But so these are player-defined wings, which you do special in his skin. But the Type 1 wings are very cool. I think with his flying goggles, I think the wings are a good choice. We can give him particles if we want. We can give him just simple particles. And there's also the chance of fins, like a fin on his back. So that's pretty cool. So I think what we will give him wings like that. So we're going to hit escape. You can also, there's a little button you can click in the upper right. It's hard for me to see because I've got the little marker that's telling me that my time covers it up right now. But here we go. Now that we have set up Ketarath with an interesting model. Wow, neat. Let's pop down a couple of torches here so we can see Ketarath well. we go. Much better. Now we can see that he's got those wild articulated legs like the loop garou you see in the movies. And he's got his helmet, and it's not a he, it's a she. As we get closer, we realize, oh my goodness, it's a female. And it's like, wow, that's very cool. Has wings. You can see the wings very nicely there. And very, very cool. But now, wouldn't it be cool, even more cool, if it did something? Well, let's wake it up and see what it can do. So the first thing we're going to do is the reason I wanted to go through all the trouble of building this is because this will be the nighttime shape of the elf Kedarath. At night, she'll be shaped like this. During the day, she'll be an elf. Okay, just like our mystery princess up in the tower. That goes through the change. I wanted to do a character that did the same thing so that you could see and take a sip of my tasty coffee here. Boy, that's good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just to look at the rest of this. We could give a cape if we so desired. So let's if we select texture, what that will do is that will give us the chance of turning on a cape. But you see the cape is going through the tail. But there's Mojang, and there's a brown one, and dark brown one, and so on and so forth. There's a skull cape. Aha! That's funny. It's a skull, but the tail's coming out of its mouth. Translator cape. Whoops. I didn't mean to. That's kind of wild. Gray cloak. Imperial Legion cape too. That's actually funny because I made this cape right here for the Gwydir guards. It's supposed to be a spruce tree. And the tail is poking out. But anyway, we're gonna skip that. And the easiest way to get rid of that, since you might end up doing that by accident, is just to backspace through it to get rid of it completely. Overlay has to do with the eyes, and again, it's when you have to erase when you're done, but you can give different kinds of glowing eyes to your character. Has living animation? Yes. This just means that as it stands there, it has a slight motion to its arms and stuff, so it looks like a living thing instead of a statue. Visible, whether or not it can be seen, and lastly, boss bar. If this was a boss, if we were going to beef this up using some script and stuff, we could turn on the boss bar, and then when we approached it, we'd get that colored bar across the top that would show his health and stuff. Under stats, health of 20 is average and is a good health. In this case, because it's likely to be dealing with a lot of mobs, I'm going to beef its health to 200. Aggro range, how close things have to get before it wants to fight. Well, I'm going to reduce that from 16 blocks in a sphere around it to just 8 blocks. Creature type, it's normal. The choices are undead or arthropod or normal. He's normal. Respawn, this has to do with if it's killed, does it come back again? Well, the answer here is yes, it does respawn after 20 ticks. When it dies, do we hide the dead body? No. That means that when someone kills this NPC falls to the ground and lays there and vanishes only just before it's going to respawn. And the question is, does it naturally respawn? No. Whether alive or dead, it remains there until it is replaced by a new spawn. Okay. Mark naturally despawns, yes, no. Hide dead body, yes, no. Okay. Time, you can increase this. For instance, I could set this to a little bit higher rate, 200, and now it will be, and we hit escape to get back. Now, if this character dies, instead of coming back in 20 seconds, it'll come back in 200 seconds, which is much closer, of course, to almost 3 minutes here. And so it slows down when the character will return. In the meantime, the player manages to do what they need to do, getting in the tree and rummaging around. But if they take too long, they'll come out and find the character standing here again. All right, melee options. Melee strength. How strong attack? Well, 5 is average, and this character is going to be stronger than average because of the wolfiness going on. Pachow. So we'll make it 7. Melee range, it's 2 blocks. Can strike someone. There's the block I'm in. and then one block and another block. If they're within that space, I can strike them. Melee speed is 20, which is average. Again, we're going to leave that. Knockback, we're going to set to 1. So when this character hits an enemy, it'll knock it back 1 block. And then its melee attack can also cause effects. Now, there's fire, which of course sets things on fire. There's poison, hunger, weakness, slowness, nausea, blindness, and wither. Okay. Pardon me. And in this case, we want there to be no effects. And we're just going to click done. Okay. So that's the melee options. Now, resistances. Knockback, we're going to make this character about 50% resistant to knockback. We're going to make this character about 30% resistant to arrows to reflect the tougher hide of an animal. And in melee, we're gonna give that little bit of oomph because of the fact that, again, that there's animal mixed with the elf here. So here we are, resistances. Walk speed 6 is normal, and we're going to leave that at normal. Immune to fire, yes, this character is immune to fire because that way we don't have to worry about it wandering into burning zombies while it's fighting them, and because the sun's coming up and it catching on fire and dying. Burns in sun, no. Can drown, yes, but we're going to sell it, no, it cannot drown. No fall damage. If this is checked to yes, if this character is knocked down from a high point, it will not take fall damage. All right. Health regen, it regens 1 point of health a second, 1 heart, right? And in combat, it's also going to regenerate 1 heart per second. Okay. Now, the last thing that we're going to deal with here is projectile type. All right, because this has to do with our ranged options here. So first thing we're going to do is go into ranged options, accuracy percent. This character is going to be 90% accurate with a missile attack. It can attack out to 15 blocks. And now the minimum delay and maximum delay are the amount of time that can potentially go by, a random amount of time between 20 ticks and 40 ticks before the character will fire again. So somewhere between 20 and 40 ticks will go by before this character fires its next round. Fire rate is 5, meaning it has an average firing rate. Burst count is 1. Burst count is how many times, or how many times that character will discharge its missile in 1 attack. Okay, so in this case, let's make the burst count 3. Okay. Sound effects, random bow. We can go select, in this case, custom NPCs, because I've added some custom sounds. And we could add pistol shot. Here's what it sounds like. That's pretty solid, huh? All right. There's also some songs in here I've added and stuff, but pistol shot's pretty kaplow. Miscellaneous, old explode. Careful, this one will make you jump. Oh, that's not the one. It must be this one. Nope. Huh. Hey, I like that. There's a swash. Okay, so that's the sound he'll make when he fires. Okay, and then shot count. So burst count. Fire rate is 5. So every 5 ticks or so, he'll be checked under the upper conditions, the minimum and maximum delay, to give off a shot. And when he does, he'll fire 3 times. Pow, pow, pow. And when he fires 3 times, each one of his shots will discharge 3, count them, 3 projectiles. All right. So here we go. So now we click done. Now, we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, projectile type. I'm sorry. So we go to edit projectile type. The first thing is its power, then its size, which we're going to change the size of the projectile down to 3 to make it smaller. Its speed is 10. We're going to leave that the same. Does it have gravity? Yes, it has gravity. Does it explode? No. I suggest you stay away from explosions. They will blow things up. That's the nature of explosions. Effect. Again, we have fire, poison, hunger, weakness. I think we'll make it blindness. There you go. and the effect lasts for 5 ticks. You can amplify the effect so that it covers a bigger area and that kind of stuff, but we're not going to play with that. We're going to give it punch 1. We get power 4 is fine, size 3 is fine, speed 10. Has gravity, yes. Now here, 2D or 3D, we're going to make it 3D. Does it spin? In this case, no. Sticks? Yes. Okay. And down here, does it leave a trail? Let's give it a smoke trail. Does it glow? Yes, it glows. And there we go. We're done. Now, we got through all of that. Well, now we're going to move on to the inventory real quick, just because we want to be able to see how this is relative. Hang on 1 second here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to middle click this kunai to make it the thing that goes in the middle slot over here. So one slot is for the right hand, the other slot is for the left hand, and in the middle is whatever the missile is. So when this elf of the woods uses its missile weapon, the shape of the missile will be kunai, which will fly through the air, and it'll be 3D, and they will stick, just as though I had thrown a kunai like I did in the basement scene down in the spawner pub. That's all I'm going to give this character for drops or anything else. So let's go back a tab to AI. On found enemy, do what? Retaliate, panic, which means it'll run around in circles. Retreat, which means it'll withdraw. Nothing. We want retaliate. If something attacks it or something it considers an enemy comes into range, it should let loose on it. Door interact. Yes, and we're going to let it open doors. It can be disabled. It can break doors it comes across, or it can open doors it comes across. Can he swim? Yes or no? Yes. Shelter from. He can shelter from darkness. He can shelter from sunlight, or it can be disabled. We're going to have him shelter from darkness. No, let's have him shelter from sunlight. That's more interesting. Must see target. Yes. Can sprint. Yes. Movement. This is where we edit what he does while he's standing here. All right. We're going to have him standing here, but we're actually going to have him wander. Now, his walk range is a radius of 5 squares, okay? And he's going to walk normally while he walks. All right? And so that takes care of movement. For movement there, we can have him wandering. We can have him following a path which we define. We can have him just standing there. We can have him wandering. So I'm going to have him wandering. And when he's wandering, he can be moving normally. He can be sneaking. He can be aiming. He can be dancing. Or he can be normal. I think we'll give him sneaking. How about that? That looks good. And then, now up here, avoids water. Yes. Return to start. If anything happens to him, he gets too far away, he despawns, he gets killed, he will reappear here at his starting point, which we just defined. Leap at target? Yes, we want him to leap at his target. Can fire indirectly? No, we can't. He can't fire like around trees and things like that. He's got to have line of sight. Use ranged attack until close. So he'll use the ranged attack until something closes within 4 blocks of him. Well, no, closes actually, let's say, within 2 blocks of him, since he's got a 2-block reach. And then he'll move to melee. All right. Tactical variant, he can rush. He might be a dodger. If he's got a bunch of other NPCs that he's associated with, he can surround them. They can work together to surround him. There's hit and run, which is an interesting variant. He'll come in, hit you, do damage, and then slip away. And ambush. And stalk. I think, yes, we'll put him on stalk. So he will stalk his prey before he shoots it. And for stalk to work, you'll see that he does not need to be able to see his target to start stalking it. Okay? Is he affected by cobwebs? Yes, he is. All right. So we went to inventory. If we wanted, what we could do is we could take it kunai and we could put it here. And if he was killed, he would have a 100% chance of dropping a kunai. Well, we could reduce that down and make it, say, a 50-50 chance of him dropping a kunai. Okay? So we'll do that. Advanced. Now, here's where things get interesting, and it's going to take a whole nother video to get into what's going on here. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to give him the role of a guard. We're going to click Edit. we're going to tell him don't attack animals, okay? Attack monsters, but do not attack creepers, and don't attack other mobs like the crickets and things like that, okay? We're just going to leave that set like that. Click advanced again, and we're not going to deal with anything else today. We're just going to leave him just like that, and what you will find is now he will wander around, slightly hunched over, and he should, if he spots a zombie or a skeleton, go to work on him. Let's grab a zombie and spawn a couple of zombies just to see how he responds. You see that crap? Alright, I'm going to get out of his way because he's going to go crazy now. See how he's throwing 3 kunai at a time? Get him, dude. Take him out. He is one serious bodyguard now. How about that? So the question is, of course, check him out. like they're double mounted. As you can see, we don't pick up any of these kunai as we walk over them. They stay in place and they'll eventually fade away. But whoo, he cleaned house. Well, she cleaned house. Well done, Ketarath. You got one hiding in there. I know you're sneaking up on him so you can ambush him. But so you can see, Ketarath is now effectively guarding this space here. But what is Ketarath guarding? Well, Ketarath is guarding Darage. And dear Darage lies here wasting away. She is not doing well. She is ill. You see? And there you go. So, spoilers. Don't want to give away any spoilers. But I'm not responsible for this tree. Actually, I believe Hawkeye may have built this. I know whoever built it, I gave them permission. I just don't remember who it was. But there you go, Hawk. That is basic setup for an NPC, well enough to set it up to guard an area. Okay? And in the next video, we're going to get into much more complicated things, dialogues and quests and things like that. But there you go, episode 1 of Trapped, behind the scenes. Woohoo! Good tummy too. And a beautiful view. Let's get airborne here. A beautiful view of Dustan Tower. Check it out. Awesomeness. All right. Thanks for joining me for Delakaba presents a behind-the-scenes look at how we are constructing. I have no idea what I just did. How we are constructing this series. F7 has changed. F5. There we go. All right. So, ooh, beautiful moon. Beautiful moon. I need a diamond shovel because I really need to do a new diamond shovel icon. Do it. Where are you, Mr. Moon? There we go. Oh, no, almost. Ready. Set. And screenshot. And screenshot, which is F2, by the way. And then one last time. Whoops, not escape. F1. Zoom in and right there. F2 screenshot. And there you go. Oh, dude, I just missed that comment. I wonder if I got that little streaking meteor in there. That would have been so uber cool. That would have been so uber cool. And one more time. One more time. Screenshot. There you go. That will get me a new icon. Ooh, going to work down there. All right, thank you for joining me, Hawk. So there you go. Basic introduction to custom NPCs. The one, we're going to get into more in depth how we begin to set up quests and dialogues and interesting stuff like that. I'll also show you how you can add custom skins to custom NPC. And just so that I'm sure you've figured it out by now, but Jay will open up your journey map, and there are options available to change settings in journey map. And R will get your dual wielding from your battle mod ready to rock and roll. But all right, we are done. I will see you in the next one. Peace, Hawk. I'm out.